Well, it is Friday, August 7th, and it is muggy up here where we are, up here in the Northeast. We're working on projects. Right now, you can hear in the background the freezing of the harvest right. We have our second batch of peaches in there. We harvested a full bushel of peaches, so that one's the second one that's going to be done, and then we'll focus on other foods, things from the farmer's market. We're not going today because we have some thunderstorms coming, winds, rain, and stuff. So that's why I'm making this video earlier. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon, but I got some information here that I'd like to share with you guys. It's been feeling like it's been coming through like a fire hose, just fast and a lot. But I want to share with you some financial information that came out, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this. The jobs numbers came out, and not only are we short, I believe it was 23,000 jobs for this month, they are going to revise the numbers for July and June. We've been through this road before. Really, shouldn't seem like a big surprise to us, but that's what's happening, and that is actually what's pushing metals up today. At one point, I saw silver up over $3, and I'm checking right now on Kitco. As of 2:15 p.m., it is $63.36, up $1.72. Gold is up as well, almost $100. It is $43.36. And here's information that Trump came out with, changing the prices, making and creating more tariffs. The applicable minimum import prices for imported polysilicon and polysilicon derivatives shall be $21 per kilogram, $100 per kilogram for polysilicon ingots and wafers, and 22 cents per watt of solar cells. So this is going to also impact the price of silver. And over here in another thread from X, from MBA Economics, President Donald Trump just signed an executive order declaring the following price floors: $21 per kilogram of polysilicon, $100 per kilogram for polysilicon ingots and wafers, 22 cents per watt for solar cells, and 38 cents per watt for solar modules. Current global prices are approximately 8 cents to 15 cents per watt of solar cells and 15 cents to 30 cents per watt for solar modules. So if you can compare the numbers, that is going to increase a lot. That's going to increase tariffs, but more importantly, on a macro level, the price of silver. Over here from Bloomberg, the White House has invited top executives from the U.S. critical minerals industry to a meeting Friday with President Donald Trump, meant to demonstrate the administration's commitment to wean the nation off a supply chain dominated by China. So again, this is a tales old time from the 1960s and on. Pick an industry: manufacturing, furniture, clothing, tech, pick a tech industry. Unfortunately, a lot of that has been offshore for 60 plus years now, and that's coming home to roost now with tariffs and price increases. We're talking inflation, taxes, everything, and the fact that we are without so many jobs, like we talked about early on with this one, not meeting the mark, just like last month and back in June and all of last year. So we desperately need manufacturing here, not just trades, because again, that's a whole other rabbit hole with tradesmen retiring. I think the numbers are for every 7 retiring, only 1 is replacing them, depending on the sector. So we're in a shortage of tradesmen. We're in a shortage of manufacturing jobs. So I know that there are talks and scrambling, and that's the best we can do right now, which is really bad for jobs, especially manufacturing jobs. What's going to happen that and come from that, we don't know. But the best thing you can do is hedge your bets. Not financial information, but just something to think about and plan for. Over here on Silver Trade on X, look at China's numbers again. They've been dominating the manufacturing sphere for decades. 16 times in 6 months, China's gold buying goes parabolic. January, 40,000 ounces. March, 160,000 ounces. That's a hell of a jump. May, 320,000 ounces. June, 480,000 ounces. And July, 640,000 ounces of gold in China's banks right now, in their coffers. And on top of that, a lot of people aren't talking about, and I just found this out, a lot of the processing of silver that they're doing right now, 2/3 isn't leaving the country. They're saying, all right, we're going to process it, but we're not going to let it leave the country at this point. So you have 21 consecutive months of increasing gold holdings. It's kind of like we talk about ad nauseum. Whatever the big players are doing, you should be doing too, or at least mirroring as best you can. Whatever you can, food, security, water, shelter, metals, land, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that's going to meet best your needs for your family and those day-to-day just living. Do those now, a little every week. Buy a little extra food, buy a little extra metal, pay down some debt if you can, do something to take care of yourself, because again, just like in 2007 and 8, this is repeating. And another different facet, JP Morgan chases doubles down housing, aiming to deploy $750 billion through 2035, up more than $200 billion through its American Dream initiative. So everything that made a lot of crash happen and a lot of people lose a lot of money in their retirement and investments in the 07-08 crash, they're doing it again. They're breaking out the same ridiculous playbook, and they're doing the same moves again. There is such desperation to get people like, don't you want that house? Don't you want to get in that house? This pressure. And they're going to go to anyone. It's like, hey, you have a pulse, right? Come on in, we'll help you. This is what they're doing. So here's an article. Here's the information. And on top of that, the WEF says water, soil, and oxygen should be infinitely accessible. They are assets in their eyes and should be included in the global economic balance sheets. Here's an article from the Wine Press, and we're going to scroll down. Again, I'm going to scroll through the whole thing. You can pause and read it. Here are the links. Here's the information. Here's where they met up. Now, the moderator, editor-in-chief for the journal Nature, began the talks by saying to the panel, quote, "We'll emphasize the need to move beyond current economic indicators to mainstream natural capital in decision-making, and the need for proper accounting for ecosystems services." So they're calling it natural capital. Animals, air, water, plants, soil, minerals, everything. So here are the numbers that they're just speculating. They're putting a dollar amount on fish, on land, on gold, silver, minerals, uranium, trees, oxygen. They want to put a price tag on oxygen.
That's insane.
Yeah. So she continues on, adding, quote, "Valuing economic models that prioritize assets such as clean water, clean air, nutritious food, human well-being is imperative." The good news there is that the good news, as she added, is that there are coordinated international efforts to expand beyond the traditional concepts of capital and profit. So there's information, there's her background. I'm going to scroll through more of this. But this is what they're doing now. So while you're distracted with things going on in the Middle East, home, wildfires, just politics in general, this is what's going on in the background. This is all the creepy people getting together saying how much air you should be breathing, how much water you should have. And just like Bezos said not too long ago, and you can look this up, don't trust me, that water is a human comfort, not a right. So again, these are the people hanging out, talking out loud, how you should live your life, and they want to tell you how to do it. So there's that information right there. And something that just came up today, speaking about the Middle East, Iran, again, we're talking about supplies, things that are moving throughout the world on these big ships, moving at the pace of a bicycle, 10 miles an hour. Buy the extra things now that you think you need for fall and winter, maybe even to next spring. Think about planting for next year. Think about what you need for this winter. Wood pellets, firewood, coal, however you stay warm. Extra propane. If you want to top off your oil tanks, do it now before things go a little higher. Kind of spread out the debt in the projects. Iran is seeking to transit or service fees of 5 to 7%. Before today, it was at 1%. Now they've jacked up to 5 to 7% for cargo value for commercial ships using the Strait of Hormuz as part of the ongoing unfinalized negotiations with Oman and other regional actors. Of course, the United States opposes the mandatory fees, and the proposal faces pushback from international maritime authorities. Now, with that being said, they can do what they want. There's really not much we can do. In fact, we're getting information today that we are extraordinarily low on certain missiles and long-range tactical options. Like I said, a lot of these things are out of our hands, out of our control, but what is in control, what's in your pantry, what's in your fridge and freezer, what you can put away, freeze dry, can. This is canning season, guys. Visit your local farmers market, support them. Here's a website here, markets.farmland.org. America's Farmers Market Celebration. So here's a map and a link. You can find anywhere you are in America, farmers markets, butchers, raw milk, dairy, Amish farmers. Again, find these people who are growing it and doing it right, support them, keep them in business, keep them growing, and providing great food to you, everyone. Great information on here, and as well, we just placed our order for Azure Standard. We're going to be doing a pickup, and I think in a week's time. We buy from them on and off, depending on how much you buy. Some things linger, some things last a little longer, but this is another great resource, and it's a lot of fun because they actually put everything on a tractor trailer from out west to east, and they have stops. So you meet up in like a local commuter parking lot with other people shopping through Azure Standard, and door goes up and then out goes these pallets, and then they create these piles of your food. So they have everything on here: produce, frozen food, meats, cheese, dairy, dish soap, laundry soap, grains, things that are gonna be low. We've talked about this before, how the lowest wheat, I think they said on numbers, is going back to 1880s. So if you want to get some wheat berries, you can do that. Small bags, big bags, 50-pound bags, they have it. This is a truck that it shows up on. And you just all meet up, you get your pile, you put it in your car, take it home, put everything away, and then you start canning things, freezing things, make some meals. If you can invest in a Harvest Right freeze dryer or any other freeze dryer with friends and family, get in on that. Put food away, get the Mylar bags. Put it this way, you're getting food at today's prices, and then they'll carry you over into next year and after that. I'm excited. We'll do a short video when the truck rolls up, how the food and the rest of the items come out of the truck. Show you how much fun it is, the people that get to meet and hang out and talk to you if you want to, doing the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great community. Again, a lot to shop from on here. It's fantastic, but have a plan, work on it every single day, little by little. That's a trick. Don't procrastinate, do something, because it will eventually add up. A lot of people feel like they're behind the 8 ball, that they don't know what to do, where to start. Work together, help out fellow friends and family. Let them know, say, hey, look, I'm doing this because fill in the blank, whatever, what's going to work best. And then share it with them, work together. And again, good information, solid. And it can be a lot of fun, especially farmers markets. You're going to meet local vendors, get some food, and just you're outside in the fresh air and sunshine. Not today though for us, but definitely next week. So hopefully you got something from the video. If you have any ideas or information to share with other people, things that you're working on, projects you've accomplished, said, hey, I've done this, it works out great, share it down below, help out one another. Maybe you guys can swap ideas. And again, do the best you can every little week, make it happen and count, and be well, and we'll talk to you all again next time.